So over time, we've been talking with you about who you are. You are so important to the equation of the eternal expansion that we all are. He said, I'll go into this physical experience and I'll explore and I'll see, I'll hear, I will experience the contrast, the variety. And out of it, I will come to my personal conclusions about what I personally prefer. And the reason that you did that so clearly, you knew that so clearly before you got here, is because you understood that the whole purpose of the variety is for choosing. You said, I'll make choices that are important to me. And you knew that in doing that, you would launch rockets of desire, that you would send out vibrational rockets, because you weren't even considering your vocabulary in those days. You knew that you were an emanator of perspective, that you would emanate with clarity whatever it was that you were giving your attention to. And when you know what you don't want, you emanate a rocket of what you do want. And we said, and we will remain here non-physically focused, free of all resistance of a physical nature. And when you send off a rocket of something you prefer, we will hold steady to that rocket, and we will hold firm to the equation that you are establishing moment by moment. And as you evolve because of this time-space reality, so will we. And we will hold to the expansion that you carve out. And you said, okay. Sounded really good to you, because you knew that as we held to that expansion, that you would be able to tell in every moment by the way you feel how close to your expanded version you are holding, or how much you have deviated from it, you see. So your emotions let you know. If you're feeling wonderful, that means you've launched lots of rockets of desire, and you are in this moment not offering a thought, belief, or expectation that contradicts the desire that you hold. You're right up to speed with who you are. And in that moving with the flow of who you really are, you feel elation, you feel passion, you feel exhilaration, you feel really good, you feel love and appreciation, you feel joy. But if you are feeling frustration or overwhelmment, if you are feeling angst of any kind, if you are feeling anger, or if you are feeling grief, if you are feeling revenge, or any of those negative emotions that feel like despair or fear, then that means that your perspective in this moment is so far apart from the perspective of your source about the same thing. That's the most important thing to understand. It isn't that we are focused upon something entirely different and that's why we feel good. We're focused upon what you're focused upon and we feel good. And that is, no matter how you try to figure it out, what unconditional love really is. We maintain our alignment with that which is love, regardless of the condition. Now, Esther wants to say, well, Abraham, if you were in the condition where I am, you might be feeling differently. And we say, do not argue for your conditional limitations. If you will distract yourself from the condition that is causing you the separation from all that you are, from all that we are, from that which is life, from that which is love, from that which is source, if you'll just cut that out, you'll feel good. In other words, it's like the cork is bobbing up there on the surface of the water. You can hold it under the water. That's what negative emotion is. But when you let go of it, when you're distracted from whatever you're doing that's holding it down, it will bob right back to the surface where it belongs. And you are the same. If you're not bobbing, it's because you've got hold of things unnecessarily. You're holding the conditions of those unnecessary things in your thought patterns. And in doing so, you're practicing them, because you know, you think a thought for 17 seconds and another thought like it joins it. It doesn't take very much attention to something to get enough momentum going that you can cause what feels like true separation from your life, from your joy, from your clarity, from your abundance, from your well-being, from who you really are. So, cut it out. So, there are two things you can do to slow momentum. Many more than that, really, but two things that really work well. One is go to sleep. That stops momentum. Don't sleep all day, just occasionally. And the other is you can meditate. When you meditate, you quiet your mind. When you quiet your mind, you stop thought. When you stop thought, you stop momentum. Gives you an opportunity to come into alignment with who you are. And there is one more very important thing that we want to say to you. You are source energy in these physical bodies. Do you know that? There is a trajectory, there is a momentum of well-being that is very powerful, that without knowing it, you've been practicing hindering with contradictory thought. So when you meditate, what happens is you quiet your mind, and your natural trajectory, your natural momentum then can have more effect in your experience. It's like, imagine a cork bobbing on the surface of the water. That's pure positive energy. That's absence of resistance in this analogy. Now you can hold that cork under the water. I don't have enough money, or I'm really mad at that guy, or that person did something inappropriate, or I don't like the way you spoke to me, or I don't like the way that came down, or I don't like what's happening in government, or I don't like what's happening, or I don't like what my children are doing, or. You can hold that cork under the water in disapproval of something, in negative attention to something. But when you are distracted from that subject, like in slumber or meditation or appreciation, you let go of the cork and it bobs right back to the surface where you naturally belong. So what we're wanting to say to you is that while you do, everyone does, you have some beliefs that are not serving you. The source within you knows who you really are and what you really want. In other words, all day, every day, as you sift through the contrast of your experience, you are launching these rockets of desire. I don't want to be rude. I want to be kind. I don't want others to be rude. I want others to be kind. I don't want to not have enough of this. I want to live in prosperity of health and dollars and so forth. So as you've been launching these rockets of desire, these vibrations have emanated from you and have added to this vortex of creation that you were when you were born, that pure positive energy, all-knowing, powerful, worthy being that you are. When you made the decision to come into this body, you didn't come to fix things that were broken. You know there were not any broken things. You came for the joyous experience of joyful expansion. And so there was a trajectory, there was momentum. We call that your vortex. It's this vibrational reality that has the potential of manifesting, but you have to, in your conscious awareness, be in a vibrational place that is in harmony with what's in this vortex. So some of you have been listening to us for a while, yes? And you've been hearing us talking about law of attraction and how powerful it is, and how there's no exclusion. And even though there's a war against drugs and a war against cancer and a war against teenage pregnancy and a war against and a war against and a war against, a war against poverty, a war against, the war against terrorism, a war against, all of those things are just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Not one of those wars against anything is making anything smaller, because there is no exclusion. You cannot push it away. You only bring more of it to you, you see. And so the key to the happily ever after that you're wanting, the key is to clean up your focus. But you can't just all of a sudden stop thinking something that you've been thinking, because the law of attraction is bringing thoughts to you like the ones that are most active. So you've got to find ways of deactivating what you don't want by going general, and activating more and more what you do want, becoming more and more specific. You see what we're getting at? If you find yourself in the middle of a conversation about something that you do not want, stop talking about it as soon as you can. That helps. And in time, you'll stop talking about it, you'll stop thinking about it, you'll stop attracting it, you'll stop being part of that. Your point of attraction will shift. And that's really what we want to talk about here today.